Welcome back to another Stoner Watch Mandalorian news. Today we're going to be doing a review of Chapter 4, Sanctuary. Now that's the new episode of The Mandalorian that dropped on Disney Plus this morning. Now without getting heavy spoilers right off the bat, this episode was written by Jon Favreau. It's being directed by Bryce Dallas Howard. That's Ron Howard's daughter, which is pretty damn cool. Now they're saying that the runtime for this one is 42 minutes. So far, that's the longest one we've gotten so far out of 4. Now, they're saying that episode 1 or chapter 1 comes in at 40 minutes. Chapter 2 is coming in at 33 minutes. And chapter 3 is coming in at 38 minutes. Now, I think if you shave off like 3 or 4 minutes from like the beginning and the end credits and what have you, that's your actual runtime. But there are some cool images in the credits, so you might want to check those out. But without those, it's actually a little bit less than what they're actually listing. But that's just the way it is in any show and what have you. They're always adding in the credits. With that being said, that's pretty much as far as I can go without any major spoilers. So if you have not watched Chapter 4 of The Mandalorian, go watch it, then come back. I mean, it's only 40 minutes. Come watch it, and then we'll have a big, huge discussion on all what we just watched. And trust me, you're going to want to do it because you don't want to be spoiled. All right? That being said, let's go. Now, at the beginning of this episode, we start on the planet Sorgan and what have you. Now, we got a bunch of farmers and what have you. Now, we got Julia Jones playing Omera. We have Isa Ferris playing Winta. And we have Azif Ali playing Caban. And Eugene Cordero playing the character Stoke. Now, we start off in the village here on Sorgan and whatnot. And everybody's like having a good time picking their, they look like little shrimp or something like that. And then they get attacked by these raiders. They're called Clantonians, I believe. And I think I'm probably butchering it and what have you. But they end up taking a whole bunch of other stuff from the villagers and what have you. And then we go into our beginning credits with the title and what have you. And when we come out of the credits, we're with the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda aboard the Razor Crest and what have you. And it was kind of cool to watch because you could see that he's like kind of shifting from like he was a little annoyed with him at first in the previous episodes. But in this one, he's kind of like taking him in a little bit. There's like a little bit more bonding going on. And we see Baby Yoda sitting there like pressing buttons and stuff like that. And he's, hey, don't touch anything. And then Baby Yoda's like just kind of like just got that mischief kid look in his eyes. And when he goes to press the button, he's just like, that was kind of funny. And then after that, we see the Razor Crest flying overhead on the planet Sorgan that we were at the beginning of the episode. And the villagers see him. So now he lands. Now he tells the kid, hey, you just stay right here. I'm going to go take a look around. Don't touch anything. Just stay right here. And then when he goes to leave, he can see that the kid is pretty much attached to his ankle and what have you. So he's like, oh, what the hell? You have to come with me anyway. Now with his armor and this little green guy like walking around, he doesn't really kind of blend in all that well and what have you. And then we come and we meet Cara Dune and what have you at this bar or saloon or whatever you want to call it. Now she thinks he's out to come and get. Now she thinks he's a bounty hunter for her, and he thinks that she's a bounty hunter for him. And it kind of goes back and forth. And when he goes out, that kind of like after he orders something for the kid to eat or drink or something, he goes out and tries to find her, and they scuffle around a little bit and what have you. And then when they're at a standstill, pointing blasters at each other and stuff like that, we hear some sipping noise, and we come to find out it's just Baby Yoda going, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? So that was kind of funny and kind of really cute and what have you. And then she's like, hey, we get like her backstory and what have you, that she was, after the Empire fell, she's like, it got all political and whatnot. I'm pretty much here to kind of retire. So it's not that big of a planet, but I got here first. So you got to go find somewhere else. He's like, all right. And he looks back at the kid. It looks like we got to go. So as he's getting ready to leave, a couple of the farmers, Caban and Stowe, come here and ask him for his help with the raiders and stuff like that. And he's like, I really don't want nothing to do with it. But then they offer him money, and then they mention the fact that they're at a village in the middle of nowhere, which he's kind of looking for, what have you, so he can hide out with the kid and whatnot. So he goes and he kind of agrees to help, and he goes back and he gets Cara Dune and what have you. And then they come to find out that they got a AT-ST that they got to worry about. And then initially they're like, whoa, we can't beat that thing. You guys are just better off leaving. So, and then I think through the backstory, through Cara Dune, we find out that I think she was on Endor. She mentioned something about the Ewoks and what have you. And she said, I watched it take out platoons of soldiers and whatnot. So, but they end up training. They decide to train the farmers instead to defend themselves with sticks and how to shoot blasters and whatnot. Now, the plan was for them to go to the raiders' camp and lure them back over into the trap, which they laid for the AT-ST and what have you. And they kind of do. They go there and they kill a couple of the raiders and what have you. They blow up a tent and they draw out the AT-ST, which rises up in the darkness with the red glowing eyes, which is kind of cool and spooky and what have you. And it chases them down, and there's this big, huge firefight at the village, and they finally lure the AT-ST into the hole. They threw a bomb in it, a grenade or whatever, thermodetonator, boom, blow it up. And it was pretty cool to watch. I mean, this was a good episode. Now, the first three were obviously just like kind of like the setup arc and what have you. Now we're going into like the second phase of the series. Now he's got the kid. He's obviously can't just like drop him off, because he earlier on in the episode he said something to the farmer lady about he was going to leave the kid there. But after they defeat the AT-ST, a bounty hunter with a tracking fob shows up and what have you, and he's obviously they're obviously tracking him. He can't leave him anywhere. He's got to take him with him. So then he ends up leaving. Now my overall thoughts about this episode was pretty good. Now, I mean, I liked it a lot. I mean, it's just further on the story. I kind of wish that Cara Dune kind of like goes her own way. Now, she's slated to be in 3 episodes of this season and stuff like that. So we got 2 more that she's going to show up in. We got 4 more that are going to be coming out. Now, the next 4, we're going to start off our rotation again. We got Dave Filoni doing the next one. We've got that Femawani guy from episode 2. He's doing the 6. And then we've got Deborah Cho coming in again for episode 7, and then we got Taika Waititi coming in for episode 8. So that's going to be pretty damn cool. And I believe Dave Filoni also wrote this next episode that we're going to get next week. So that's pretty damn cool. So I don't know. Have you been watching Mandalorian on Disney Plus? Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about this episode? What do you think about like the one episode, or excuse me, the one part where they got the kids and stuff like that are playing with Baby Yoda and whatnot? Now, as far as I'm concerned, that's your advertisement for interactive Baby Yoda. I'm not saying I got any inside information. I know they got dolls coming out and whatnot before Christmas, but mark my words, you will see interactive Baby Yoda within the next month or so. You heard it here first. Anyway, so I don't know. I like this. I can't wait for episode 5. Or chapter 5 and what have you. I love this show a lot. So, I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Have you been watching this thing? Let me know. Please like and subscribe and click on that bell so you can be notified every time we drop another video. Have a good week, people. Peace.